Imagine standing on the deck of the largest ship ever built. The ocean is perfectly calm. The night air is cold but peaceful. Above you, the stars are so bright they reflect on the water like scattered diamonds. Nothing looks wrong. But somewhere beneath the surface of that silent Atlantic water, a massive wall of ice is already waiting. And in less than 60 minutes, more than 1,500 lives will be lost. Tonight, using historical testimony, ship blueprints, and AI reconstruction, we are going to step inside Titanic's final hour. Not the whole disaster, just the last 60 minutes. Minute by minute, room by room, from the bridge to the engine rooms, to the freezing decks where passengers slowly realize the truth. Because what happened in Titanic's final hour was far more chaotic and far more human than most people realize. The clock on the Titanic's bridge reads 11:40 p.m. The ship is sailing through the North Atlantic at nearly 22 knots. That's about 40 kilometers per hour, extremely fast for a vessel this size. Captain Edward Smith has already gone to his cabin. The sea is unusually calm. And that calmness is actually dangerous. Normally, waves break against icebergs, creating white foam sailors can spot from miles away. But tonight, the ocean is flat, like glass, which means icebergs are almost invisible. High above the deck, two lookouts scan the darkness. Their only tools are their eyes. They don't have binoculars. Those were accidentally locked away earlier in the voyage. So they rely on moonlight and starlight, and suddenly, one of them sees something, a darker shadow against the horizon. At first, it looks like a smudge. Then the shape grows, bigger, higher, until it becomes clear, an iceberg. Directly ahead. The lookout grabs the warning bell. Clang, clang, clang. 3 sharp rings echo through the night. Then he grabs the phone line to the bridge. Iceberg right ahead. Inside the bridge, First Officer Murdoch reacts instantly. He orders, hard a starboard. The massive ship begins to turn. But ships like Titanic don't pivot quickly. They glide, slowly, like a city trying to change direction. Murdoch then orders the engines reversed. This decision, historians believe, may have actually reduced Titanic's ability to turn. But at that moment, there is no time to debate. The iceberg is now towering beside them, nearly 30 meters high, and stretching deep below the surface for a brief second. It looks like the ship might miss it. Then, a low grinding sound vibrates through the hull. Not a crash, not an explosion, just a long tearing scrape. Ice slides along the starboard side of the ship. Passengers barely notice. Some think they felt nothing at all, but beneath the waterline, the iceberg has opened several narrow cuts across Titanic's steel plates. 5 compartments are now flooding. The ship was designed to survive 4. 5 means something very different, something irreversible. Water begins pouring into the forward compartments. Crew members in the mailroom hear the rushing water first. They try to move bags of mail away from the rising flood. But the water climbs quickly, cold, black, relentless. Down in the boiler rooms, workers suddenly see water spilling across the floor. Coal fires hiss and sputter as seawater spreads. They immediately realize something is wrong. One crew member runs toward the upper decks. Meanwhile, Captain Edward Smith has been summoned back to the bridge. He meets shipbuilder Thomas Andrews, the man who helped design Titanic. Together they inspect the damage. Andrews studies the flooding reports. 1 compartment, 2, 3, 4, 5. His face grows pale. He quietly tells the captain something no passenger yet knows. The ship will sink. And it may happen within 2 hours. Midnight. Passengers are still mostly unaware. Some are asleep. Others are enjoying late-night drinks in the smoking room, but the crew has begun preparing lifeboats. Titanic carries 20 lifeboats. enough for roughly half the people on board. This decision had seemed reasonable when the ship was designed. The belief at the time was simple: a modern ship like Titanic could never sink completely. Lifeboats were meant only to transfer passengers to rescue ships. But tonight, there is no nearby rescue ship, and the crew is suddenly facing a terrible reality. There are over 2,200 people on board.